This podcast is part of the Zeo to Hero Podcast Network.
AvenuePodcast.net.
Hi, this is Jared, and welcome to iGetApp. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's pretty much what my guest today kind of says on her show. So let's try this again. Hello, all my beautiful people. There it is. And welcome to another episode of If You Give a Dad a Podcast. I am really excited for this one, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I want to say thank you to everyone who is tuning in this week, whether this be your first time listening, or if you're a long-time listener, welcome to the show. I love having everybody here, and like I said, this one's going to be a lot of fun today. I have with me Chris Anthony Lansdowne. She is part of Adventures in Odyssey. She's the voice of Barbie. She's done all kinds of stuff. She was in Johnny Bravo even, and she did some Fallout 76 voices. We're going to talk to her today about everything that she does. As you know, I'm a huge fan of Adventures in Odyssey, so we're going to nerd out about that stuff on here as well for a little bit, and I think you guys are just going to enjoy the ride. And for those of you who are here just to listen to the Chris Anthony Lansdowne episode, welcome. I hope that you enjoy what you hear, and I hope that you stick around and listen to some of the other great episodes I have here as well. So, if you guys are as excited as I am, then let's get this show on the road.
If You Give a Dad a Podcast.
You're bloody welcome! You know.
Hey, Dad.
If I get my hand stuck in a pickle jar, I'm straight up bull in a china shop, just swinging around.
Started writing songs when I was about 12 or so.
Seriously?
They're retrofitting me now, and
I'm like, yes, finally.
I've also had the opportunity to go train with Hoist Gracie and Dan Severin.
Wow.
I like that. That's different. Stands out.
That day I took my very first bump and it was fun.
There's only one section to go to first.
Yeah.
Toys.
Bro.
I was like, no, man, surely this guy's not booked out that long.
I haven't laughed that hard since I was a little girl.
What?
Man, this guy won't shut up.
And just a reminder before we get started here, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to iGetApp wherever it is you're listening to. Hit that notification bell so you are notified when a new episode drops. Also, make sure that you go out there and rate and review this episode. Tell me what you think of it. And the more people that do that, the more likely I am to be recommended to somebody else. Now, on to the show. There we go. All right, everybody. I've already got to talk to my guest a little bit before the show. And I'm very excited for you guys to hear this episode. She is the voice of Barbie. She is also the host of Adventures in Odyssey. She has done all kinds of amazing things, different cartoons, different video games, and I'm very excited to have on Chris Lansdowne. How are you doing today?
I'm swell. That's really nice. I am not currently doing Barbie's voice anymore. That's,
Right.
that was a 10-year span from 1994 and on. Now there's many Barbies in the ocean.
Yes.
But I was one of those original, at the beginning stage. But yeah, it was a real privilege to do that. And I am so happy to talk with you. I can tell we're going to be BFFs.
Well, I can't wait. So you recently did something, or I don't know if it's actually happened yet or not. I think it has. But am
I going to jail for it?
No. The Adventures in Odyssey 1000th episode.
Yeah,
I know
that's
coming up. I know.
Yeah.
Y'all haven't recorded for that yet, have you?
Well, shall I say I don't know?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've done it, but that means nothing.
Right.
Because the celebration's going to be starting in August, and
Yes.
man, we're going to have a couple days of just real celebration of the journey of Adventures in Odyssey, and I can't be more happy and more grateful that I am still a part of Adventures in Odyssey. It's like,
Right.
for me, it's definitely up there on the totem pole for me as far as my work and where my heart is and what I'm most proud about.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's kind of get into this. How did you get the part as the host of Adventures in Odyssey? Because I know you've been there since the start, right?
Yeah, right up to that very first episode of
Right.
Hi, this is Chris. Welcome to Adventures in Odyssey.
Yes.
I've only said that 1,000 times. I guess, yeah, 1,000 episodes.
That's right. Yeah.
It was a very interesting beginning because it actually was called Odyssey USA at the very,
Yes.
very, very, very beginning.
Yep.
And but that did change, and I do recall the day that I had a friend call me and said that they were looking for a host, or a host of a show, and he says you're gonna like this one, and that was a friend of mine, Bob Luttrell.
Okay.
And he said, can you come down to this studio, and they want to go ahead and audition you? And I went, yeah, sure. And then I thought to myself, no, wait, I was a mess. My hair is a mess. I was a mess. I wasn't ready to go out. And then Bob says, Chris, it doesn't matter what you look like. It's gonna be they won't see you. So I jumped in my car and drove down to the studio, and there was Phil Lawler and Steve Harris, who are the co-founders of Adventures in Odyssey.
Yes.
And there was Bob and this little mic stand with a script and a microphone and a chair. That's simple. And I said hi. I sat down thinking, okay, what? Oh, something happened. I thought, hang on, what? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. You can't see me. Right? So they said, we want you to be warm and inviting and like somebody's best friend. We just want you to be that kind of person that people want to feel like they know you,
Yes.
and they're safe to be with you.
Right.
So, okay, I'm thinking, okay. It was really, really in my heart. And I'll tell you, as I began to read the script, and I'm not kidding you, I felt like chills on my arm, just like, oh. I looked at the script and I started to read it, and I was reading it and trying to put in my mind that I am somebody that, they could trust, and I'd be friendly. And I mean, halfway through the script, they said, stop, just stop. I went, oh, yeah, really?
Yeah.
I go, oh, well, I could do it again. I'll be much better. Just give me a second chance. And I am telling you, right at that moment, they said, stop. We found our host. We found who we were looking for.
That's awesome.
Just like that.
Wow.
And I did. I felt chills on the back of my neck and arms. And I was just, when you're like at the top of a ride,
right?
Like at an amusement park, and your stomach is kind of, and I thought to myself, this is going to be quite a ride.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was so excited. I was so very excited. These guys have become like a second family to me, because I've been with them for 38 years.
Yeah.
So really,
wow.
We've watched each other grow old together. I mean, how old was I when I started? Let's see, was it 78? Oh, no, wait a minute, sorry. 87. 87. There.
87.
Yeah.
So
that so 87. So, well, anyways, let's not do the math. Okay?
Right.
So, yeah, it's been so much fun, and God has kept it alive and breathing all these years.
Yeah.
It's a team of people that have been pouring their heart into it. And these are great, great, great talented people, who write really good and produce really good. And also, just all the Foley, the sound effects, the stories. It's like, seriously, there are times where I'm reading my part, the opening, and there's something I say, and I went, man, that really affects me.
Right.
I felt what I was saying had the same impact as if somebody else were listening to it. And I went, So that's what somebody's feeling when they hear my words,
Yeah.
not my words, but what I'm reading.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I always remember, you had the part at the beginning, but at the end, there was always there's always a lesson when it comes to Adventures in Odyssey. And you, at the end, would, kind of explain what that lesson was for today, dealing with the characters in the show, and I mean, that's the one thing I love is, it was so much fun to listen to, I mean, I
Thank you. That is so nice to hear that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Adventures in Odyssey. You're not just, asking me questions about a show, how how it is. And I'll tell you what's so nice is kids growing up listened at night before they went to bed.
That's what I did.
Listened. Yes. And then you're doing your homework and take a break. And then you're in the car with your parents and you're driving somewhere and they go, let's throw in Adventures in Odyssey.
Yep.
And then it's like you go on vacations with them and it's like they grow up listening to this and the stories are so well written and there's always a good really moral to it. So you got like this really life lesson that you're learning from it,
Right. Yeah.
And so the characters become a part of their whole world,
Yep.
you get to know them. And I can't tell you the people I've talked to through the years that have told me story after story about what it's meant to them.
Right.
And I just think, oh, thank you. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just a small part,
You had everything to do with it. I mean, I even, I know you get this a lot because I saw it on one of the groups because you're part of some of the groups on Facebook.
I try when I can. I do.
Yeah. And I heard somebody bring up, I know what the P.O. box is in Canada, because I heard it every night. I listened every single night. And so, I mean, there's so much, it became so much a part of a lot of our lives, like you said. Yeah. And, hearing you at the end, not only did you give the lesson, at the end, but also we knew exactly where to send everything to because you told us
80995.
Exactly.
That was that zip code.
That's right.
There used to be little skits at the beginning. Remember that when they had like a little story skit at the very opening of the show?
Yes. Yeah.
I would be doing a character, with Phil Waller. We'd always do funny skits together. But what eventually happened was they needed more time for the stories.
Right.
So something had to give, it's like you want your story to be completed and at its best. And so the thing to go was all those funny little skits that we did. I love doing those,
Well, and it was great because even so you get into stories like the Novacom saga, and even the way that you played in those, it was very more of a serious tone and everything.
Yes,
it was still warm, and welcoming to listen to. But and that's probably one of my favorite series is the Novacom.
Oh, I love that one too. It's funny. It really is. Like sometimes they wouldn't hear the episode first. They wouldn't get to hear it. So they go, okay, you're coming out of the scene is very serious. Somebody's really in distress and I laughed to myself. I go, oh, okay. I can't be like, hi, perky.
Yeah.
You gotta match that scene. And so I wanted to make sure that I'm not. So I always said, do you want me to perk down? Kind of
perk down.
Perk down.
Yeah.
I laugh.
Oh man. Yeah, I could probably sit here and talk about Adventures in Odyssey the whole time.
Oh, me too. Because you can tell. I just say, okay, can I say one thing that I love about this is so they get me to call kids. Nobody knows this. This is like a special sideline project.
Oh, cool.
If a kid's that maybe having a hard time at school, or it's maybe a birthday or a special occasion, or somebody passed away in their family. It's like I get that paper that says it's a call request. And so I look at it and I go, oh, this is my chance, my open road to go into somebody's heart and talk.
Right.
Because, we the characters are great, but I'm Chris, and it's like they trust me, so I'm able to let them know that you can talk to me and I'll listen, and I'm here.
Right.
So I get these phone calls. Okay, they're so much fun. It's like sometimes they don't know I'm calling, so the parent might know. So I said, "Hi, this is Chris. Is Jared there?" And
Oh, that's
the
great.
mom will go, "Oh, hi, Chris," and she's talking about her favorite shows and going on and on. I go,
Yeah.
No, I'm here for Jared.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so they get on the phone, and it's like, it's so much fun because they go, "Oh, hi." And we talk about their dogs, where they live,
Yeah.
you name it. And sometimes I get a chance to really encourage them. And that's my favorite thing to do, is encourage kids, because,
Right.
it's a scary world out there.
Right.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
And they need someone they can feel good about and trust, and encourage and speak something positive to them. So
Right.
calls are my favorite.
That's awesome. Yeah, and like you said, I didn't know that was a thing that you guys did. So that's
Oh
really
no,
cool.
don't tell anybody.
Oh,
'cause
I'm not.
it'll
No,
be
yeah,
funny.
yeah. Just my listeners, y'all don't tell anybody else.
Oops,
So, yeah.
sorry.
So was voice acting always something that you wanted to do?
At the very beginning, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, when I was born, yeah, I would say I always had it in my heart to be an actress.
Okay.
A voice actress, that turned a corner at one point for me. But when I was in high school, one of the favorite things for me to do is being, in the plays and the musicals. Not that I could ever sing, but I made it funny, so I got away with it.
Right.
But they'd have like these pep assemblies. I don't know if you went to school, and before a basketball game or a football game, they'd have like all these funny skits to get the kids all psyched up for the games. And
The pep
sure enough,
rallies,
the pep rallies.
Yeah.
So I would come out as these goofy characters. Oh my gosh, I should be embarrassed. And just, do funny skits and get everybody kind of having fun and excited about the game. And that was just in my blood to have fun and make people laugh. And
Yeah.
I did pursue acting out of high school.
Okay.
And, I did. I wanted to be, seriously, this is a tall order, but the next Lucy, the next Carol Burnett, those were my, role models for me as a actress. I wanted to be on a fun, sitcom. And I got an agent. Nancy Washburn in San Diego, and she is still to this day a very dear friend. She's an agent there. And I was maybe, I don't know, 17 or 18, and I went to see her. Said, "Could you sign me? I mean, I want to be an actress." It's like some kid,
Yeah.
She looked at me and she just kind of smiled and said, "Well, what do you do, kid?" So I was doing all these impressions.
Yeah.
I was doing of animals and people and seagulls. I remember doing I don't have that kind of guts now, but she just kind of watched me go, unfold this whole routine. And she goes, "Wow, what am I going to do with you?" And she took a chance. I mean, she was an agent, and she says, "I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to send you out on commercials." Oh yeah. Commercials.
There you go.
I must have played 5 million, the dumb blondes, and and I was, young housewives and bank tellers and moms, and I was having a blast. I mean, I was doing, commercials. I was acting.
Right.
I would black out a tooth.
Oh my goodness.
And go on auditions and ask them to believe that I was a real person, and crazy characters. But yeah, I think she was very kind to take me on without any real, true experience.
Right.
But to this day, she's a good friend. And I do tell a story. She sent me out on one commercial for a lawnmower.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I could either end up on Dr. Phil because of this, or I could move on with my acting career. But she said, could you, this is going to be like a sit down lawnmower where you kind of ride around in mow grass, the big fields where you sit on one and you drive it, not the push. So
yeah.
Does I want you to dress like a man for this commercial, Chris?
Okay.
I said, yeah, that's what I said. Okay. Is there a point to this? She says, yes, because the commercial is a man driving this lawnmower around this field, and he's just going all around and mowing the grass. And at the end of the commercial, he takes off his hat, and all these beautiful curls tumbled out of the hat, and it's like, oh, I'm a girl. Girls can drive these lawnmowers too. So yeah, she knew I would do it. So I dressed up like a man. I put on like this cowboy hat and stuffed my hair up in the hat, so
yeah,
have that surprise moment. And I even put on like gloves, work gloves.
Oh wow, yeah. You went all out. Yeah.
I went all out. I sat at the audition with all these pretty girls who were looking at me like, what's a man doing on this audition? And I just kind of sat there with my head down and didn't look at anybody. And this is the day when they would call you into a room and there would be casting people sitting around a table.
Right. Yeah.
They'd take your resume and your headshot, and they'd look at you and go, okay. So then they'd interview and give you the lines, and you would do basically what the commercial was.
Right.
Well, I just kind of slid my picture on the table, just slid it. They kind of looked at it like, huh? This doesn't look like the girl. And so I gave me the lines. I don't know why I'm telling you this in great detail, but I thought,
great. I love it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to be just like the commercial. I'm going to whip the hat off my head, and my curls will just tumble out just like the commercial. And they'll go, wow, that's just like the commercial. Only it was a very hot day.
Oh.
And when you wear a hat and your head's all sweaty and your hair is all stuck up in the hat. I went to go take off this hat and let my hair tumble out and say, I'm a girl. Well, my hair was stuck up in the hat, like sweaty hot, and almost made a point. The way it was so gross. It was so hilarious that I'm taking my fingers and just pulling it down.
Oh my goodness.
Like some kind of train wreck. Like, oh my gosh, what was supposed to happen here? They just started laughing like, we get it. We know what you're going for. What great pity.
Oh my goodness.
And the reason I told this because at that point I thought in my mind, I don't know, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
This on camera thing.
Right.
And I think it was like the next day or so, my agent sent me out on a animation thing.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying this is because I did a little bug voice. Hey, Randy, I'm a bug. And they booked me. I went,
oh, wow.
I did nothing. I didn't put on a cowboy hat or men's gloves.
I didn't have to mess up my hair.
Yeah, I didn't mess up my I went, wait a minute. When you do voices, it's limitless. You could do anything. I didn't have to be a blonde the way I was, or I could be an old lady. I could be a talking dog. So I was on the road to just Funsville doing voices and crazy characters. And I never looked back. Once I started in animation and toys, I did a lot of toys, talking pigs and talking horses. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a long story just to tell you why I'm not doing.
Oh, hey, no, I love it. Like we said, it's called If You Give a Dad a Podcast. Anything can happen, So this conversation could go anywhere. I had a guy on here that is a voice actor for Funimation. Oh, and we ended up talking about video games that we like to play the whole time that he was on there.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, it can go really anywhere with this. So,
Give a dad a podcast. Let me tell you. Sorry, my squeaky chair there.
Oh, you're good.
I love the title. It says a couple things. One is you're a dad, I hope.
Yes. Yeah.
But I love dad humor because dad humor is the best.
Yes.
it's not the cutting edge, stand-up comedian. It's fun, it's funny, it's cool,
Yep.
but it's warm.
Exactly.
And that's you. You're warm, likable, fun guy next door and best friend type of guy. And it's like, that's my kind of interviews and podcasts where we just kind of connect, with a little humor, with a little our hearts, our journeys.
Yep.
And so all that just to say, I love the title of your podcast. And you.
Thank you. Well, and like I told you before, I wouldn't have the title without my wife, and she
rocks.
She does. Yeah. She.
Okay. How many kids do you have? Do you have a wife?
I have a wife and I have 2 kids. I have a boy and a girl.
Okay. So what ages?
12 and 13.
I hope they're listening to Adventures in Odyssey.
Oh, of course. They've grown up on it.
That's great. So you got a boy and a girl. That's a good age too.
Yeah.
That's the age where you think you know more than your parents.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's the current situation. So,
Yeah. No, it's great.
Oh yeah.
You can't talk about kids and not let your heart melt a little bit,
Right.
I have one daughter, so
Okay.
she melted mine and broke it at the same time. And she's a voice actress too. That's
Oh, cool. Okay. So it runs
Yeah.
in the family then.
well, it does. She was around me when she was just a really little girl, and she used to go on auditions, and she'd be listening and sitting on the floor coloring in her coloring book and listening to me. And my agent invited her once to read on a script with me, and I went, she doesn't know what to do. What are you talking about? She stood up right behind that microphone, did the role of a little girl and a mom. I was the mom, and
Yeah.
I'll never forget this. It's like I went, whoa, hey, how did you know what to do? And it was pretty funny because I do tell the story. My agent called the next day and says, "Hey, booked her." I went, "What?"
Oh, wow.
I go, "How cool! A mother and a daughter together." She said, "No, the
Oh,
daughter."
no. Oh no.
And that started the journey of my daughter doing voiceover. And she can sing where I'm like, I sound like I want to sing, but she can really sing. She does a lot of Disney stuff and works as Rapunzel sometimes.
Okay.
And she's a very cool daughter.
That's cool. I'm actually going to get to meet a couple Disney voice actors here really soon.
Woohoo!
I'm going to, there's a con in Chattanooga, Tennessee that we are going
Really?
to.
On
Yeah.
Tennessee?
Yeah. It's called Metrotham Con.
A what?
Metrotham. It's they mixed Metropolis for Superman and Gotham for Batman and squished
That's
it together,
cool.
called it Metrotham. But there's going to be Ariel is going to be there. Prince Eric will be there.
Right.
The lady who was the singer for the Pocahontas movie, played the singing voice for Pocahontas, is going to be there.
So who are you looking forward to kind of meeting when you go? Who you go, I gotta meet this person, or you just kind of playing it. I'm gonna walk the con and just whoever I feel like I want to see, or
So I'm actually going. We're going as a guest on this one, and
great.
I work with a comic book company called Original Geek Comics, and
Oh.
we all got invited, my podcast and the Original Geek Comics, to be a part of this. So there's a lot of guests at this one.
Yeah.
But my wife is really excited about Pocahontas, like over the top.
So that's her.
excited.
Yeah, that's
Oh
good.
yeah. Me, I grew up in the 90s, so I'm a big Power Rangers kid. So the original Blue Ranger is going to be there. I'm really excited about
Awesome.
that. And then there's some anime voice actors that I'm really excited to see too. So
That's gonna be fun. You're a kid. It's a dad podcast, but really you're a kid at heart. So like,
Oh,
it's gonna
definitely.
be dad/kid podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, I've had my kids on the podcast a few times too. So,
That's how you do it.
yeah.
That's how you do it. I love that. Of course I do. I'm Adventures in Odyssey. I want to call them right now.
Exactly. So there was one thing that you said a few minutes ago that I want to go back to, and it's actually pretty funny. On every episode now, I've been doing this for maybe almost a year, and maybe about 7 or 8 months. I do dad podcast of the week, or I mean, sorry, dad joke of the week.
Good.
So,
good.
and then I have a friend who, he's another podcaster, and he always is like the one who groans at dad jokes. So I call it Billy's favorite part of the episode. And he's actually recorded some reactions for me. And like, he's like, oh my gosh, that was horrible this week, or something like that. So,
so you can just plug them in where
exactly. Yeah.
I'll give you a couple of those. Yeah. You need some female, like, oh, really?
That's great. I like that.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple to throw at them.
All right. So going back to another thing that you were talking about doing different voices and stuff for toys. And I know you've done some video games and you've done some different movies and things like that. Barbie is one. I think, did you say that you're one of the longest running when it comes to the voice of Barbie?
Oh, my little Barbie days. I loved doing Barbie. Barbie was, as I look back, it just feels like it was yesterday for me. I mean, it's been a while, but I was doing a lot of toy voices at the time, and I was doing baby dolls and talking, like I said, horses and everything. And I had this one audition for a doll, and I had no idea who the doll was.
Yeah.
I just knew it was another audition for another doll. So, and so I don't mean to make this a long story, but it was
good.
1994, and she really didn't have a voice. She never really had an established voice.
Yeah.
Like, I think she had like maybe a little workout video,
right.
And like a one doll earlier on, but they never had her on like all of her stuff.
Right.
And I had no idea what I was auditioning for, and it was during the 1994, and I've told this many times, I don't mean to bore anybody, but there was a earthquake. There was a 1994 earthquake in Northridge, California, where I lived.
Okay.
And I say this because the next day I had this audition for this doll that I had no idea what it was for, and I went, oh, earthquake. I mean, that's like pretty intense. Things are flying off your walls. I've never been in an earthquake, and this was a big deal.
Right.
And I just thinking, oh gosh, I remember having, my daughter was just a little baby, my husband, we were kind of like going, what is going on? And excuse me, I knew in my mind, well, I'm not going anywhere now. Why would you think about an audition during an earthquake? That is a true actress. So I do remember calling down to Mattel. Mattel.
Yeah.
Still I'm clueless, right? Saying, sorry, you guys, I know you're far away. You're not in the middle of this. You're kind of an hour away from where this is all going on. So I can't come to this audition. I apologize. And I'm making excuses after being in an earthquake, right?
Yeah.
And the director just said, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. You guys okay? Yeah. He says, and unfortunately, this particular project, we got to get this. This has got to happen like right away. And I went, so sorry. Maybe next time. And he said, well, let's let you do a couple lines of this on the phone, and we'll kind of know if you're sort of right for this job, just a couple little, see if you're in the ballpark. I said, okay, sure. And I'm kind of nervous. I sat down on my bedroom floor, and I could feel like the tremors are still kind of happening. I'm thinking, what am I doing on the phone?
Oh, wow.
He goes, could you just say, let's see. Say, hi, this is Barbie. And then he goes, say, welcome to McDonald's, and you look cool. I went, oh, yes, sir, I can do that. Sure. I went, oh, he just said, Barbie? as in Barbie I played with growing up on my bedroom floor with my sister. And I said, okay, sure. I thought, oh, okay. What does a little girl want to play with? She wants to play with her best friend. She wants to be sweet. She wants to be warm and caring. And well, this is going through my head, kind of like Adventures in Odyssey, actually.
Yeah.
I went, okay. Hi, it's me, Barbie. Welcome to McDonald's. You look cool.
Wow.
And it just came out like that. And he didn't say anything. He was very quiet. And I
Yeah.
went, okay, I'm sorry. I'm nervous. Please, can I do it again? He goes, no,
No.
no. He goes, can you come to Mattel tomorrow? I went, huh? What? I ran to talk to my husband and said, can I go to Mattel tomorrow? And he kind of looks at me like, hey, we're just having an earthquake and I have a baby in my arms. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
He goes, you get in the car and you go. You go. I got a feeling about this.
That's cool. Wow.
I got in that car, couldn't shower, which I really bummed out because it's a girl thing. We had to water, yeah, put on my baseball cap, drove down to Mattel.
At least you didn't have to pull it off this time, though, right?
No, I didn't think, oh my God. Got out of my car, went into the lobby of Mattel. This is like in the 90s, so it was very different looking. And I tell this, there's a huge, gigantic Barbie standing in the lobby. She looked tall, like Oscar, in that striped bathing suit. And I looked up at her and went, oh, became real for me. I'm going to audition for the icon Barbie, her voice. I went, seriously? I think I'm going to just have to go back to my car. This is too much. But it was too late. They took me back to the sound design studio, and in the booth, there's that glass wall that the engineer and the crew behind them sit. And then there's me and this little microphone, and I'm sitting there and I got my baseball cap on. Why I remember that part. And there's like 7, maybe 8 people in that booth behind the glass, kind of like looking sort of important, like suits and dresses. I went, what is this? And sure enough, it was, the big decision makers. And I went, okay, that makes me even more nervous. I'm going to either fall off this stool or cry. I don't know. So the director said, Chris, just do what you did on the phone. Exactly what you did. Yeah. And I went, oh, I don't remember. It was an earthquake. I went, okay. Hi. It's me, Barbie. You look cool. Welcome to McDonald's. And I opened my eyes after having them closed, and they're kind of whispering to each other, like, I go, what are they saying? I go, would you like for me to do it again? Because you always feel insecure when nobody tells you anything.
Right.
And like in slow motion, the director pressed the talkback button and said, hello, Barbie. Are you ready to go to work tomorrow?
Oh, wow.
And it was like, what? Like this dream. I went, sure. I don't care where I am or who I'm coming. I'll be there.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'll tell you, when God wants you to do something, earthquakes, whatever happens, you're supposed to be doing a job. You're going to do it.
Right.
You always think, well, that wasn't, if you don't get something, I really believe it wasn't supposed to be mine.
Yeah.
And when you do, and it overcomes a whole lot of obstacles, that's supposed to be mine.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if that was a long story.
Oh no, I love it. It gives us a little bit more about you, and that's really what I want here is, to be able to get to know you better. And that's just amazing.
From that point, we did hundreds of toys.
Right.
We went into video games.
Mm-hmm.
Like girls never had video games. There was no girl.
Yeah.
We did Barbie hairstyler, Barbie writing club, Barbie fashion designer, which this last year went into the National Video Game Hall of Fame. I mean, because what happens is you could design Barbie's clothes on the computer. You can make her walk in the clothes on the computer, and then you could print them out and put them on your Barbie. It was like groundbreaking, and kids were they couldn't sell them. They could not get the sales to keep up with it. The demand, and wow, we just did Barbie surfing, Barbie this, Barbie, and then we started doing all of her teacher Barbie, and we did let's see, we did Spanish speaking Barbie, cool shopping Barbie, super top Barbie. I must have been in the studio for just week after week after week after week. They
Yeah.
couldn't. She didn't have a voice, and
Right.
now she finally had a voice.
Yeah.
And thank you. I got to be it.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, so much has happened even since then. I mean,
Oh yeah.
full feature length movie for Barbie now.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's crazy. Because I mean, it just started out as a toy for a little girl to play with, and it's turned
Right.
into this entire empire that Mattel has made.
No kidding.
So it is it's crazy.
Yeah, the movie, people go, "Oh, what'd you think of the movie? What did you think of the movie?" And it's like, it's hard for me to answer that because I see it differently than people, because
Yeah.
it was her voice, and there is like inside jokes in it, and there's certain things that I know that it's like it kind of changes
Right.
just the viewing purpose of just watching the movie. I know stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
I was in the restroom right before the movie started. I thought, this is really funny. My daughter and her boyfriend said, "Can we take you to see it?" And I said, "Absolutely. I want to be with my daughter." So
Yeah.
excuse me. So I'm standing in the restroom just before the movie starts, and then all these little girls are dressed in pink. Pink, 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 pink. Mothers and daughters, pink. Everybody's dressed up like Barbie in their finest clothes. I'm just waiting in line with everybody, and looking at all these little girls thinking, this is fun. Nobody knows. And then all of a sudden, this one little girl's just at the top of her lungs is just going, "Mommy, I gotta go." Little kids,
Yeah.
gotta go. And I tell this because it still cracks me up. The mommy goes, "Okay, you go ahead in, and I'll hold your purse for you. Like, you go in that little stall."
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl goes, no, I want my purse. I want my purse. Mom goes, "No, give me your purse. Give me your purse." Oh, there's this whole thing in the restroom happening with a little girl kind of making a big scene over a purse.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
thought, I'm going to use my powers for good. And so I went, I think I said, "Give your mom your purse, and don't be arguing with her. You have to be a good Barbie." Oh, what was I thinking? What a crazy woman would do this in a restroom. I thought the little girl froze. She just froze. She goes, "What? Huh?" She gives her mom the purse and goes, "Okay." She just goes into the stall. Now, everybody in the restroom turns around and goes, "What the? What was that? Who is this woman doing this crazy voice?" And it's like, I said nothing. I just kind of stood there, smiled. I didn't tell anybody anything. What they didn't know is Barbie was in the bathroom with the girls.
Oh my
Sorry, I'm
goodness.
still getting over a cough. So,
Oh,
wow.
you're good. I am too. Actually, so I had to take a week off from recording because I was sick.
Got it. Oh.
Yeah, something going around, I guess.
Oh yeah, I came back from where was I? Mississippi. We did an event. Katie Lee and I went to the Esther conference for the girls out there.
Yeah.
We surprised them. We just showed up, and like they were just not expecting it, and they were going crazy over it. Well, we hugged 5 million girls. I don't know. I was just in the moment of flying and hugging people. I probably caught something somewhere.
Well, it happens. I mean, I came back from doing a con in Texas, and I was sick that next week. So, it happens, it's part of it. So
I don't know. It's really hard to get rid of once you got it. It's like,
it is. Yeah.
It's just like, oh God, am I going to stop coughing today? And then I was scheduled to go to Colorado Springs, do some Adventures in Odyssey stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I felt really bad. It was that morning and my flight. I just called them. I says, "I can't do it. I can't."
Yeah.
I was just hacking and coughing. I thought, see, you don't want to infect other people either. You just.
Right.
So I'm okay now. Just if you make me laugh too hard, I'll start like coughing up fur balls.
We don't want that. So I told you I had Townsend on the show.
Oh, yeah.
It was about a month or so ago is when I had him
Isn't
on
he
here.
sweet? Isn't he just
He's great? Yeah.
he's the nicest guy, talented.
Oh yeah.
I just happen to adore him.
Yeah.
He's just so wonderful.
I walked up to him and I think I shocked him because he was there with all the other voice actors for Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And I walk up to him and he had just got there, and there wasn't a lot of people there that day because it was snowing outside.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I liked that because then I can get right up there and talk to people I want to and all that. And I walked up to him and the first thing I said to him is, "You're my favorite character on Adventures in Odyssey." And that's how I started it off. And he just kind of looked at me like, "Wait, what?" He expected, everybody's there for Ninja Turtles. And the first guy that talks to him is talking about Adventures in Odyssey. And just from that, like, it just started the whole conversation.
Sure. You tapped right into the heart there.
Exactly. Yeah. But there was one thing that he brought up when I had on the show, and I kind of wanted to ask you about this as well. I know that after the pandemic and everything, a lot of the recording is not done in the same room. When it comes to your portion of it, is yours, are you mostly doing it by yourself, or do you have like other voice actors that you're doing stuff with?
Usually when they do the raps, that's my part of the raps. I am in a separate room doing, the opening and the closing and
right.
And I'm doing a lot of them,
Yeah.
I always say, how many do I have to do today? Like I'm doing a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
And they're so funny. These guys, they make me laugh so hard. They're sometimes they'll write funny names at the close, because I'm doing the cast members' names. Just make up stuff. They make up really goofy names.
Yeah.
Because I can't pronounce half of them. So they just write it. And so I'm reading this, and our cast included Katie Lee, Andre Stoika, Jared Zimbapakoluta Takachechi Tutu. Hello, what is, they're laughing because they know I can't pronounce half of them.
Yeah.
They're just goofy guys for me. And
oh, that's funny.
But I think if I do a part on the show, then I'm with them.
Okay.
There's a couple of characters that I do.
Yeah.
Mrs. Randolph. Oh, yes. Oh, dear Wooten. Oh, where's my glasses? Oh, they're on my head. Well, dear me.
I even remember which episode that's from. That's the one where he gets fired from the post office.
Yeah. Or the birthday.
Oh, do the birthday song, dear. Oh, do the birthday song.
Yes. Yeah. It is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, do you know how many years it took them to finally write another one with her in it? It's like,
oh my
we
goodness.
did it. Well, our dear Will was still with us.
Yeah.
They wrote another one, and we got to do another episode with Mrs. Randolph. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry, I mixed that up. Will and I did Imagine Guy together.
Remember, I was
Yes.
Oh, Guy, I'm sorry. I love you, Guy.
That was Imagine Will.
I remember that one too. I don't remember what if was that like was that on BTV or
yes,
Kids Radio or something like that, or
the
something?
Gifts of Imagine Guy. The Gifts of Imagine Guy.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? It's like I just mixed up my.
That's great.
That's so typical of me because it's true. It's these guys are so good and it's one of my favorite things when they write me a part.
Yeah.
I mean, I could beg them to write me another, but they brought back Imagine Guy, and Mrs. Randolph got to be on an episode not too long ago.
Okay.
They did like a backstory to her and how she met her husband, and it was really sweet.
That's cool. So there's something else that I actually found today that I didn't know that you do, and that's audiobooks. And you've actually won an award for audiobooks, haven't you?
Did you do your homework looking up my stuff? Is that what you were doing?
I guess so, yeah. Being prepared.
Audiobooks is not my favorite thing to do.
Okay.
Because I don't have the attention span.
Yeah.
I tend to not follow punctuation very well.
Gotcha.
Where they take a little comma and they put it there, just keep on talking and keep on talking. And it's like, it's just, There are actors and actresses are really good at audiobooks. It just is a struggle for me. They're long, but I do like to do video games are fun. Those are
Okay.
characters that are very not Chris
Right.
parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you were
I'm,
on Fallout, weren't Fallout 76? Didn't you do a couple parts on that?
Yep. Which was when I got cast, I went, what?
Yeah.
Who am I doing? Yes, we want you to do this evil robot voice. And gosh, Motherload. I was Motherload.
Motherload. Yeah.
Who else was I like? I was like a reporter, a couple different parts. Oh, there was a professor. She kind of was affected by radiation. What was her name?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's okay. But when you looked at her, she has like this fried looking like radiation got her. And we were in the session, we were recording her voice, and I think I was doing her. They wanted her to be pretty straight, and she was like a professor, and she's talking in a normal lower tone like that. And they go, no, we wanted more monstery. I went,
oh.
Did you say Barbie? No. Monstery.
Yeah.
I gotta do it. I give her this kind of.
I felt like I was betraying my Barbie.
Hi, cool. No, I'm her.
Well, you've kind of done a little bit of it all. It's amazing. But yeah, I did read that you did. There's quite a few video games that you've been a part of, and then
do you like video games? Is that? I mean, are you a video game guy?
I am, but the thing is I'm also a dad that doesn't get to play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still playing stuff on my PS3.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because there's, like I said, with you kind of get the kid part of your life,
right.
But then you get the dad part that's responsible, and then you get this combination. You have to really make them work together.
Exactly.
I feel like sometimes I see things just from kind of a funny filter. That's all I can say. It's like a funny filter.
Yeah.
Where I know I'm an adult, an old adult, but then there's a part of me that still stands in an elevator, and when it's really crowded, I can't help myself. I feel silly. And like a doctor's office, when I get really nervous, I know, okay, be an adult, you're in a doctor's office. There's lots of people sitting in the waiting room, and they're all waiting to go in, and it's very quiet. I just recently, I'm telling on myself, don't tell my husband, because he always tells me, he goes, you have to talk to everybody, Chris. You have to talk to everybody. And it's like, we're sitting there, and I thought, it's so quiet. I went, I'm here to get on the cruise.
Oh my goodness.
People start laughing because the tension of waiting for a doctor.
Yeah.
Somebody goes, so this is where we get on the cruise, right? They laughed, and it was like, oh, that moment of releasing the tension of everybody worried about their medical problems, and yet they needed it, and I thought, that's my lane.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, you're probably ready to next. Okay,
no, I am enjoying every minute of this. This is great.
Oh, thank you.
So sorry, I lost my spot. I'll edit this part out.
You guys can't see, he fell off his chair, but that's not important.
Oh, I have to keep notes. Otherwise I forget what I'm going to say. So
please keep notes, because I will ramble on about everything and anything.
Oh, that's totally cool. But I've actually had somebody on the show, and about 20 minutes into it, my mind just went blank. And so I started.
Oh, bless your heart. That would happen to me if I had to be the interviewer.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, where it's like, well, so what's new?
Yes. So how are you doing?
Well, I think, if you don't mind me saying so, I just, I really love doing these podcasts, because it's like, it's just talking. It's just chatting, I don't have to memorize any lines. And
right.
I think, you know, at this point in my career, since it's almost like 40 years of, you know, being in this, and if I may say something, it's like, you know, if you're pursuing to be a voice actor, it's like, you know, be a voice actor that people want to be around,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing so important about you that you can't talk about personal things and make, you know, it's like we're all books, good books, you know. We just kind of take the time to kind of open the pages and read about somebody's life. It's great. There's ups and downs and lessons and good things and bad things. And it's like at this point in my life, after all these years of doing all this, you know, voice work and stuff, like, I'm not interested in like everybody going, oh, she was the greatest voice actress in the world. It's like, who cares? You're not going to take that with you, right?
Right.
But I hope, you know, I just have a chance to kind of connect with people and be a part of a good conversation. I don't care if I travel the world really to see all these places. I just want to hang out with people and talk about their life, my life, you know, just share stuff.
Yeah.
That's a kind of richness that you can't really get at a bank. With, you know, money rich.
Right.
It's deep rich, an internal thing. It kind of like, oh man, you just can't buy that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So you know, I'm looking at my room behind me. You guys can't see all the, you know, there's like video games and there's toys and stuff. I go, hey, when I kick the bucket, you're gonna remember that stuff. You know what? I hope somebody remembers that I was kind of a nice person. That would be important to me.
Definitely. It, you know, I hear this a lot I have a lot of friends in the wrestling business, and there's something that they say, and I think it translates over into all aspects of life, and that's leaving it better than the way you found it. You know,
I love that.
You know, and that translates even into this. You know, leave this spot better, make it a happy memory. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Hey, that may be a good note for us to part the waters now. What do you think? Well, you still like me?
Oh,
I mean,
I do have a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
Before I get you off.
You're living dangerous because you don't know where I'm going to go with them. But
I want to talk to you about Charlie the puppet. Tell me a little bit about that.
How dare you talk to me about Charlie my puppet? You just now tapped into my other love.
All right.
Oh my gosh, Charlie my puppet. Now you guys can't see me or my puppet, but he's big, blue.
Yeah.
Kind of like his head might be even the same size as mine. He's you know, but he sits on my arm and I can work his mouth with my hand.
Yeah.
And he lives in my trunk of my car. Because Charlie at any time comes out at the most random
And Charlie sounds like this. Hi, everybody. I'm Charlie.
And I've been known to, I don't know, go to certain events, and Charlie comes with me, and they go, "Oh my gosh, what is this big furry blue puppet with her?" He's like, kids love him, and he's friendly, and he's got a really good sense of humor. So sometimes when I'm driving through Starbucks, I kind of duck down. Charlie comes up, his big blue head. I just recently found out they had cameras on those Starbucks signs.
Yeah.
Charlie,
that's why I see you going down.
He orders for me. Hi, come on, Charlie
Yeah. These guys in my Starbucks always go, "Oh my gosh, Chris, what are you doing?" But I take him everywhere, and kids love him because he's always saying something nice, and he's kind of funny, and he's encouraging. I want to be him as a puppet. So, but thank you for mentioning him. I actually took him on the Adventures in Odyssey cruise.
Cool.
I put him in my suitcase, which is really funny because TSA looks at this big old fuzzy puppet in my suitcase and goes, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" Speaking of that, I went to or is it what Fan Expo? Is it in Canada? It's Barbie, and I took some Barbie toys up there.
Okay.
And I put them in my suitcase. And I gotta tell you this. There's this life size like a head. I don't. You could probably see it. She's back on my shelf. It's like right back there. You guys can't see it, but he can. Eric can see it.
Yeah.
So I took her with me to set her up on my table with, all my pictures and people autograph and stuff. But I had to carry her in my my carry bag, not my suitcase, but my carry bag. And I put this is so funny. I remember her head's about the size of my head.
Yeah.
So I put her in this big purse bag, and I didn't want her hair to get messed up, so I put like a plastic bag over her head, so the hair wouldn't be all getting messed up, right?
Yeah.
I put this plastic bag over her head, and I tied it, so this plastic over her head, she looks like a dead body in this like
oh no
my bag. And so I'm going through TSA, and oh my gosh, so I just put her up on the the thing it takes your suitcases, it rolls by and they check things on the X-ray machine. So all of a sudden the bag kind of stops. And I went, what was I thinking? I hope I took the batteries out of her, because if they touch her, she's going to start talking. My voice is in this head.
Oh my gosh.
She'll go, cool. You look great. I went, oh no, please don't talk. And so I could see the lady who's looking at the X-ray machine. They're looking at to see what's in the bag. And as I looked at the X-ray machine, you could see this Barbie head in there. I went, oh, it looks like I murdered somebody with a bag over their head. She just stops, and like the conveyor belt stopped. She looks at it, and I see her call somebody over. And they're looking at this Barbie in my bag. I said, I'll solve the mystery now. Okay. I'm just going to tell you what it is, because I could tell it was causing some kind of commotion.
Yeah.
It had to be the funniest moment. They were cracking up.
Oh, that's great.
I had to perform in the TSA line to show her that was my voice and that doll head. Oh gosh. See, I never grow up. That's the truth.
Well, don't ever do it. Yeah. So, like I said, we're coming up close to a close. I do have a couple more quick questions for you before I get you off of here. Do you have anything that's coming up that maybe you want to talk about?
Oh, well, how do I say this? No, I better not. This is
okay.
I always get in trouble.
Oh, we don't want to get you in trouble.
Okay, I'm not going to say I can feel that thing. It's pushing me. Yeah. Okay, but I do. I can speak of Adventures in Odyssey in our big 1000th episode in August. Yes. It's going to be a huge party, and we're going to have a live show. We're going to have one-on-one time with the fans. I am so excited. I just left a week ago. We were doing some intros. They were videotaping me doing intros, which was really fun because, when I get on camera, look out, it's going to get goofy. Yeah. But it was fun. We're just doing the excitement, building the excitement for the coming event. Right. And I'm actually going back in June to do more, but I'll tell you, I'm worried that I'm going to sit next to Jess Harnell. Because we laugh whenever we sit next to each other.
Yeah.
Trouble breaks out. Like having two 10-year-old kids sitting next to each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They have to split us apart. He knows if I can't pronounce something or I do something wrong, he'll just really make me suffer and laugh. But I love him. He's such a gifted actor, and he's going to be there. And Andre Stoica is going to be our wit's going to be there, and Gregory Jabara, who plays on the show now, and Katie Lee, who is truly my BFF. One of them. She really is a dear heart. We talk to each other almost every day. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
You got to get her on the show.
I want to have her on the show. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. You do. You got to get her on your show. She's great.
Definitely.
Townsend Coleman will be there.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm just, let's see. Who plays, oh gosh. Why am I blanking out? Well, I think it's time to go. Chris has no more brain cells left.
All right. If people want to follow you, how can they do that?
Well, I admit it. I'm a goofball. You can always you can follow me on my Facebook. I'm always kind of telling stories and posting fun stuff. You're never going to hear political anything on my
on
my Facebook and my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram too. I think that's I usually respond.
Yeah.
So I'm always telling a story or
All right.
just posting something fun. But
Awesome.
yeah, you could do that.
Okay. All right. And is there anything else that maybe you want to bring up before I get you off of here?
Let's see. Okay, Jared.
Yes.
If you were to have a bucket list, you're way too young for this, but a bucket list.
All right.
Okay. If there is something somewhere you would like to try, it doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be. What for you is on that list? Something you would like to do? It could be something small. If it was just at some point in your life, go, I really like to try that, do that, talk to that person, see that.
Yeah. There's a couple. I want to go and do a week on one of those dude ranches where you live like a pioneer. That's something I've always wanted to do. Yeah.
That's so cool. Really?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Okay. So what kind of things would you do on this dude ranch?
So it's pretty much you would live like a pioneer would. You would take care of the horses. You would, do everything that they would do throughout a normal day in their life.
I love that.
Yeah, it's and it actually came to me. I grew up watching stuff like Lonesome Dove and things like that.
Oh, sure.
And so it's always made me want to do something like that
ever
since watching like Lonesome Dove.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. I could see you doing that. And you have to, there's no, you can't have anything that's like, current, any.
Exactly. Yeah.
You gotta live the way they lived.
Exactly.
The way they did it.
Yep.
I love it. Okay.
And I'd like to travel more too. So.
Okay. So throw in one place you want to go.
Japan. Yeah. I'd like to go to Japan. That'd be cool. Yeah.
So you guys heard it. If you heard those two things.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be in that order. And, it might be after his kids are like 40 years old. Well, that works. But we have to put that out there and we have to give our wishes, let people hear our little secret wishes. So
there you go. Yeah.
That's cool. Thanks for going there with me.
Definitely. All right, Chris. Well, it has been wonderful talking to you tonight. I have
thank you.
Thoroughly enjoyed this. And maybe we can get you back on here and talk again at some point.
Hey, yeah. Okay. I got lots of stories for you guys that you don't want to hear.
We'd love to hear them.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will talk to you a few minutes after we're in this recording.
Okay.
Have a great night.
Thank you. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out and listening. I appreciate it. Mwah! That was a kiss.
All right. A dad joke of the week. All right, let's get this. Dad joke of the week.
Finally, he's gone off to rehearse his dad jokes. I thought he was never going to leave. Well, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Mark, and I am the Red Conch Ranger on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, most places, to be honest. You can go find me. And I've snuck into Jared's recording room to basically promote myself a little bit. And I want to promote my GoFundMe page. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why is this guy asking for GoFundMe? Well, what is happening is I'm hoping to go to a Comic-Con close to me in Newport, Wales, in the UK. And I'm going to meet David Yost, the original Mighty Morphin Blue Power Ranger. And I'm hoping to take my family with me. So basically, I'm asking for some help. You can go to my GoFundMe page, which is on my Linktree in my bio on TikTok and Instagram. You can also help me by...
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. Hold on, coming.
You can also help me by subscribing to my Patreon page, where you will get a shout out on every episode of my podcast called Nerds Through Comics, and you will also get a personal message and a shout out on my TikTok. You can also do this through Cameo as well, but obviously that's only a one-time offer. And I am also opening a merch store where I'll be selling some t-shirts with my lovely pet face on the majority of them. That's not a bad dad joke. But speaking of bad dad jokes, I better get out of it before Jared turns back up. Catch you guys later.
Wait, was somebody just in here? Hello?
Hey, listeners. Pardon for the interruption, but I'm Billy, and I'm always joined by my co-host Jim, the bulk and skull of the Zeo to Hero podcast, where every week is always going to be a different surprise. You got to tune in to find out what we talk about. It could be anything from 90s nostalgia, Power Rangers, anime, giant fighting robots, or landing on the moon. Who knows? So, definitely check us out on any of the podcast places where you find yours.
All right, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed that episode with Chris Anthony Lansdowne. She was amazing to talk to, and I've made a friend, so that's really cool that I've been able to do that, and I've talked to her a few more times since I had her on the show, and she's just a wonderful person, and I just want to say thank you to her for being on my show, taking time out of her schedule to make sure that she could come on here and just chat with me about everything that she's done. As you know, this is actually my first time back in probably technically it's been 2 weeks, because the last episode that I recorded for myself or for the show, Nick had to come on here and had to do the opener and closer for me, and I really appreciate him doing that. He has helped me quite a bit, and I look forward to seeing more things like that in the future. And then last week, we had a new thing that happened. Now, I won't be doing those episodes every time on my channel. That was just to give you guys kind of a taste for what is going to happen on Beyond the Panels, and make sure that you go and follow that podcast on its channels as well. That way you can keep up with everything that's going on there. I will be recording another episode here in a few weeks when we go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it will be Sean and Nick and Luke, and there will also be Eric on there with me this time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's a 3-day con that we're going to be going to. So yeah, it's going to be a blast. But I've got some really cool guests that are coming up. I'm really excited for what you guys are going to hear next. So make sure that you stay tuned for the new episodes that are going to be coming out here very soon. I'll be posting it on social media and different things like that. While you're waiting on a new episode to drop, make sure that you go out and follow my podcast networks that I'm a part of, the OIW Podcast Network, the Zeo to Hero Podcast Network, and the Avenue Podcast Network. They all have great shows on there that you can follow and enjoy. And just go hit them up. While you're waiting on me to drop new episodes, make sure that you go and follow them, because they have wonderful stuff. If you want merch, you know how to get that from me. Send me an email, tell me what size you want, tell me which design you'd like to have, and we'll get that shipped right out to you. When we get to the end of the episode, you always hear the man D-Cure doing the ending theme song, and if you like the way that sounds, make sure that you go out and follow him as well. I will have a link to his website in my show notes. Like I said, he's an awesome dude. He made that for me almost, this year will be 2 years ago that he did that for me, and I'm just so thankful that he did that. It was really cool, and I think it brings kind of a cool vibe to the end of the show. And like I said, if you like that, make sure that you go out there and follow him, show him some love. So I've already talked about that we're going to be in Chattanooga, Tennessee next. As you're hearing this, there is another thing that's going to be happening this week with Original Geek. On Wednesday, Vengeance Issue 3 is released, and on Saturday, May 11th, they will be doing a book release at Kapow Comics in Sherwood, Arkansas. If you're in the area, make sure that you go out there and see them, get you a copy of Vengeance 3, maybe get an autograph, talk to the guys who are behind it. There's lots of talented people who are part of this crew that do all kinds of amazing things. So go out there. If you are in the area, make sure that you go and see them. We've got all kinds of other events that are coming up that are going to be really cool that I will be announcing here soon. We've got another one in July that is coming up. So, we'll talk about that more on future episodes. But, yeah, we've got cool stuff that's going to be happening when it comes to Original Geek and If You Give a Dad a Podcast. Another exciting thing that we have talked about here recently that is starting is another branch of my brand of If You Give a Dad a Brand, and that is If You Give a Dad a YouTube channel and If You Give a Dad a Cosplay. I have two friends who are doing those for me. If You Give a Dad a YouTube channel, it's ran by Ty. I've had him on my show, and as you're listening to this, I just went and did an episode with Ty Tiger on his Tiger Nexus podcast talking about Angel. We did almost 3 hours just going over everything with the show. It was a lot of fun to record, and you guys should go and listen to that. But he is doing, If You Give a Dad a YouTube channel, he comes out with all different things when it comes to how to create this stuff and how to edit videos and how to do a proper reaction video. Different things like that. It's wonderful content, and you should go out there and look it up. And like I said, there's also If You Give a Dad a Cosplay, which is Cosplay Dude 637. I've had him on the show twice now, I believe. And he is running that. He does all kinds of cosplays, and he kind of explains it to you and how to make a cosplay. And I believe here soon he'll be having on another cosplayer to talk about stuff with him. So that'll be really cool to see here very soon. I will be having other branches coming out here soon when it comes to the If You Give a Dad a Brand. So just stay tuned for all of that. So as we're talking, you hear me say stuff about social media, and you're probably thinking, well, where can I find you at? Well, whatever social media you're app on, go and search If You Give a Dad a Podcast, and you should be able to find me on there. Or you can look me up on Google. I should be the first 10 to 15 results that you find on there as well. Or I've made it kind of easy for you. In this, I have my show notes. If you go to the bottom of the show notes on this episode, you will find my link tree. And my link tree will have all of my social media on there as well. It should be up around the top of the link tree once you click on that link in my show notes. So you can go and follow me that way as well. You can also send me an email at giveadadapodcast@gmail.com. That should be listed there in the link tree as well. Send me a line. Tell me what you think. If you want to talk to me about something, if you want to bring something up, if there's something you would like me to talk about, if there's a guest you would like me to have on, then hit me up. Send me an email. I love talking to you guys, and it always makes my day when I do get a message from one of you. If you could, do me a favor. As you're listening to this, make sure that you go out there and rate and review this podcast. Wherever it is you're listening, let me know what you think of it. Give me a 5-star review. Give me a 3-star. Whatever you think that this deserves, let me know what you guys think. The more people that rate and review this, the more likely I am to be recommended to more people. And, I would love to see this podcast grow. You can also like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Make sure that you hit that notification bell. That way you are notified when a new episode of iGadap drops. And, I thank you guys for being here, for listening to this show on a weekly basis. It seems like it's growing more and more every week, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So it is the end of this wonderful episode. You heard me talk about it with Chris in this one about how I do this part of the show, and it is called Dad Joke of the Week. Why was Cinderella so bad at soccer? Because she kept running away from the ball.
Jared, you stay over there. You stay over there. Yeah, you get back. You get back right now.
I'm done with this guy.
Get over there.
I'm bad.
No, bad. Let me out. I'm getting the spray bottle. I'm getting the spray bottle.
Dang it. I'm going to swing.
Spray bottle.
I'm going to put them on walls and chairs.
All right. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.
I'm in my room rounded, but I got a podcast on. He calls us beauty. beautiful people, then tells us who we have on. The best part of my day, the world blocked out in my pawns. Tell my friends all about it so that they follow along. And the host is kinda nerdy, but guess what, I am as well. I don't feel so alone and I began walking out of my shell. Heard a story, I needed connection I haven't felt. I'll be looking for the next one, till then farewell. It's the podcast for me. Have it on, better go see. And listen closely. Download and tune in remotely. It's the podcast for me. Have it on, better go see. And listen closely. Download and tune in remotely.
This podcast is part of the OIW Podcasting Network.
All right, cool, sweet, baby Jesus. Okay, cool.